Have you ever noticed how some people will type out a 3-paragraph text message, but won't pick up the phone for a 2-minute call? They'll send voice notes, reply to your stories, even FaceTime. But a traditional phone call? That's where they draw the line. It's fascinating, right? Because calling should be faster, more efficient, more personal even. But here's the question. What's really going on beneath the surface when someone consistently chooses the keyboard over the keypad? Stick with me until the end, because what you'll discover might even explain why you've been doing the exact same thing without fully understanding why. For some, the story is simple but painful. Phone calls are triggering. Imagine this. You're 15 years old, and every time your phone rings, it's bad news. A parent checking up on you with interrogation-level intensity. A friend calling to unload their drama. A relative you don't want to talk to, who never takes the hint. For years, that ringtone becomes a Pavlovian signal for stress, obligation, or emotional labor you didn't sign up for. This is called classical conditioning, the same psychological principle that made Pavlov's dog salivate at a bell. Except instead of salivating, you're experiencing a micro-spike in cortisol every time someone calls. Your body learned. It adapted. And now, even though you're an adult with agency and boundaries, that old pattern remains. The phone rings, and your nervous system whispers, danger, obligation, trap. Texting, on the other hand, texting gives you control. You can read the message, process it, respond when you're ready, or not at all. It's not avoidance, it's protection. It's learned helplessness transforming into learned boundary setting. For this group, preferring texts isn't about being antisocial. It's about surviving in a way that feels safer. Then there's another group, and their reasoning is completely different. These are the people drowning in decision fatigue and sensory overload. They're not avoiding calls because of past trauma. They're avoiding calls because their brain is already at capacity. Think about it. The average person makes 35,000 decisions a day. You wake up and immediately start. What to wear, what to eat, which email to answer first. Should I take this meeting? Do I need to pick up groceries? Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for executive function, is already exhausted by 10 a.m. And then your phone rings. A phone call demands immediate attention. It requires you to drop everything, switch contexts, engage in real-time conversation, read vocal tone, respond with appropriate emotion, and maintain focus for an unpredictable length of time. That's not a simple task. That's a cognitive marathon when your brain is already limping. Psychologists call this cognitive load theory. Your working memory has limited capacity, and when it's maxed out, even small demands feel monumental. Texting, by contrast, is asynchronous. You can respond between tasks. You can think before you speak. You can manage the interaction on your own time, fitting it into the cracks of your day rather than letting it shatter your focus entirely. For this group, it's not personal, it's practical. It's surviving in a world that expects you to be on 24/7. And finally, there's a third group, and this one might surprise you. These are the people who've simply outgrown the need for constant real-time validation. Studies in psychology show that as people develop stronger self-determination, the ability to act based on internal motivation rather than external pressure, they become more selective about how they spend their time and energy. They're not running from connection, they're curating it. Phone calls often come with an unspoken expectation. You should be available. You should perform enthusiasm. You should keep the conversation going until the other person is satisfied. There's a social script, and deviating from it feels rude. But people in this third group have realized something profound. They don't owe anyone their immediate presence. Their time has value, their energy has limits, and they've made peace with the fact that honoring those limits might disappoint people who want more access. This isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's understanding that relationships don't have to be loud to be meaningful, that depth doesn't require constant availability, that you can love someone deeply and still prefer to engage with them in writing because it allows you to be more thoughtful, more present, more you. Self-determination theory tells us that autonomy, the freedom to choose how you engage, is one of the 3 core psychological needs for well-being. For this group, texting isn't avoidance. It's autonomy. It's quiet strength. And here's the most interesting part. This preference for texting over calling rarely exists in isolation. People who prefer texting often approach their entire lives with the same philosophy. They might prefer email over meetings, solo work over group brainstorms, a quiet night in over a loud night out. They're not antisocial, they're selectively social. They've learned that their best self emerges when they have time to think, space to breathe, and control over when and how they engage. Does that mean they never feel anxious, overwhelmed, or lonely? Of course not. They're human. But they've also discovered something that not everyone has, that their discomfort with immediate, high-pressure interaction isn't a flaw to fix. It's a feature to understand. And once you understand it, you stop apologizing for it. So whether you're someone who sends a text because you don't want to interrupt someone's day, or you're someone who genuinely feels anxious when the phone rings, or you're someone who's just trying to protect your limited energy in a world that demands too much, you're not broken. For some, it's about healing from past patterns. For others, it's about managing an overstimulated present. And for many, it's about honoring the person they've become. The real question is, which one are you? And maybe the even bigger question is, does it matter as long as you're being honest with yourself about why you do what you do? If this made you think differently about your own texting habits or the texting habits of people in your life, you'll love the other psychology topics we cover here. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We dive deep into the kind of psychology that actually explains you, not the surface level stuff, but the patterns, the conditioning, the quiet truths that shape how you move through the world.